Greetings and salutations. I'm Christopher Platt, reporting for Your Black World News with an article from the Atlanta Black Star. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and visit theblackbusinessschool.com to learn about financial literacy and how you can grow your business today. Sudan's military overthrew President Omar al-Bashir on Thursday after months of bloody protest over his repressive 30-year rule. But pro-democracy demonstrators vowed to keep up their campaign in the streets after the military said it would govern the country for the next 2 years. Al-Bashir's fall came a week after Algeria's long-ruling, military-backed president, Abdelaziz Bouteflika, was driven from power. Together, the developments echoed the Arab Spring uprisings 8 years ago that brought down autocrats across the Mideast. The announcement of the arrest and removal of the 75-year-old al-Bashir was made by a veteran insider in his government, Defense Minister Awad Mohammed Ibn Auf, who's under U.S. sanctions for links to atrocities in Sudan's Darfur conflict. Ibn Auf said a military council that would be formed by the army, intelligence agencies, and security apparatus will rule for 2 years, after which free and fair elections will take place. He also announced that the military had suspended the Constitution, dissolved the government, declared a state of emergency for 3 months, closed the country's borders and airspace, and imposed a curfew starting Thursday night. Protesters who were initially jubilant over the word of the coup reacted by saying they will not end their nearly week-long sit-in outside the military's headquarters in central Khartoum until a civilian transition government is formed. Well after nightfall, tens of thousands beat drums, sang, and chanted slogans against the armed forces and Ibn Auf. The first one fell, the second one will too, they shouted, and they removed a thief and brought in a thief. What is happening in Sudan is that the old system is being rebuilt in new clothes, said one activist, Mohammed Hissan. I'm 30 years old, and my whole life we've suffered from lack of freedom and continuous threats. Al-Bashir's whereabouts were not immediately known. Ibn Auf said only that he was being held, quote-unquote, in a safe place. Human rights groups urged Sudanese military authorities to hand al-Bashir over to the International Criminal Court, where he faces charges of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide for his deadly campaign against insurgents in Darfur. Amnesty International's Secretary General, Kumi Naidu, said al-Bashir is wanted for some of the most odious human rights violations of our generation. Al-Bashir came to power in a coup of his own in 1989, backed by the military and Islamic hardliners. He kept an iron grip on power and brutally suppressed any opposition while monopolizing the economy through allied businessmen. Over his 3 decades in control, he was forced to allow the succession of South Sudan after years of war, a huge blow to the North's economy. He became an international pariah over the bloodletting in Darfur, and the U.S. targeted his government repeatedly with sanctions and airstrikes for his support of Islamic militants. Throughout, he was a swaggering figure known to break into dance and wave his cane in front of cheering crowds. The protest, involving a mix of young activists, students, professional employee unions, and opposition parties, erupted in December and were initially fueled by anger over the deteriorating economy, but quickly turned to demands for the president's ouster. Security forces came down hard on the protesters with tear gas, rubber bullets, live ammunition, and batons, and the clashes left dozens of people dead over the last few months. Al-Bashir banned unauthorized public gatherings, imposed a state of emergency, and granted sweeping powers to the police. After Bouteflika's resignation in Algeria, the protest escalated and the clampdown grew bloodier, with at least 22 people killed since Saturday. Word of al-Bashir's overthrow initially set off cheering, dancing, and singing in the streets by thousands of protesters, until they heard the official announcement from Ibn Auf that the military would remain in charge. The defense chief denounced al-Bashir's government for bad administration, systemic corruption, absence of justice, adding that the poor became poorer and the rich became richer. Hope and equality has been lost. He also said that al-Bashir's crackdown against protesters risks splitting the security establishment and could cause grave casualties. Miriam al-Mahdi, a leading member of the opposition Ummah, called the military's takeover a dangerous move. Our demands are clear. We don't want to replace a coup with a coup, al-Mahdi said. In Washington, State Department spokesman Robert Palladino said the Sudanese people have been clear and are demanding a civilian-led transition. And the United States' position is that the Sudanese people should be allowed to do so sooner than 2 years from now. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video. Let us know what you think. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Your Black World YouTube channel and visit theblackbusinessschool.com today. I'm Christopher Platt reporting. Until next time, shalom.